the world doesn't end with an explosion. It ends with something so small you'll almost miss it. In fact, you probably would. Here's what that moment actually feels like. From the first wrong thing you notice, all the way to the last thought you ever have. It starts on a Tuesday. Or a Thursday. The day of the week doesn't survive history, so it doesn't matter. The morning looks completely ordinary. Somewhere, a man is making coffee. A woman is checking her phone before she's even sitting up. A kid is arguing about breakfast. 7 billion people doing the same forgettable things they do every morning. And then one thing is slightly off. Maybe the birds stop. Not dramatically. Not all at once. Just fewer of them. Then, none. And you don't notice, because you were never really listening to begin with. Or, the sky is the wrong color. Not movie wrong. Not obviously wrong. Just wrong enough to make you look up for half a second before you go back to your coffee. That's it. That's the first sign. And here's the part that should bother you. The end of the world gives everyone a warning. It's just so quiet, and so easy to explain away, that almost no one catches it. 7 billion people walk right past it without blinking. 18 minutes later. On average, based on cascade failure models for global infrastructure, every phone on Earth goes dark inside the same 60-second window. Not your phone, all of them. Screens flicker. Signals drop. In the span of about 60 seconds, every device connected to anything goes completely silent. Most people assume it's a network problem, a power surge, the kind of thing the news will explain later. Traffic lights go dark. Cars slow to a stop. Stores can't process payments. In hospitals, backup generators kick on for the ones that tested them, the ones that didn't find out immediately. Here's what's important to understand. The planet doesn't break first. Your Tuesday breaks first, and it breaks quietly, in exactly the order you depend on things. Power, communication, movement, information. By the time the sky changes, those 4 things are already gone, which means the first thing the end of the world actually takes from you isn't your safety. It's your ability to find out what's happening. Now, the physical part starts. And this is where it becomes difficult to describe, because it's different for everyone, and yet somehow identical. If you're outside, you feel the air change first. It gets heavier, not hotter, not colder. Denser, like the pressure before a storm, but compressed into a single breath. Your ears pop. Your chest tightens the way it does when an elevator drops too fast. If you're inside, you hear it before you feel it. A low-frequency hum that arrives in your teeth before it reaches your ears. Glasses rattle on shelves. Your dog moves to the center of the room and sits very, very still. And then the sky does something it has never done in recorded human history. It doesn't matter whether it goes white, or dark, or a color that doesn't have a name. What matters is that your brain, which has processed millions of skies across your entire lifetime, registers immediately. That is not right. That half second of recognition. That pure, animal understanding. Your heart rate doubles in under 4 seconds. Your hands go cold. Your vision sharpens to a degree you've never experienced outside of a car accident. You are more alive right now than you have been in years. And it is the worst possible time for that to happen. But here's what nobody talks about. You are not the only one. Right now, in this exact moment, 7 billion people just had that same half second. And every single one of them is about to experience what comes next, completely differently. The person who was asleep gets the version where they wake up and the world is already mid-collapse. No warning. No escalation. Just things are different now, and there's no explanation coming. The person driving on the highway watches every car around them brake at the same moment, for no clear reason. Not because of a signal. Not because of anything visible. Just instinct. A collective, wordless understanding that something is wrong. The highway becomes a parking lot of people standing next to open car doors, all looking at the same horizon. The person in a skyscraper looks down and watches a city of several million people fall silent in a pattern. Like a wave moving outward, block by block, the noise just stops. The person standing in an open field has the clearest view of anything happening. And somehow, that makes it worse. The person with their family gets 30 seconds of everyone looking at each other. Nobody says anything useful. Someone says it's fine, even though no one believes it. Someone picks up a child who didn't ask to be picked up. And for a moment, the house becomes the whole world. The person alone gets the silence. Just them, and whatever they can see from wherever they are. Every one of these people, in this exact moment, is asking the same question. Is this actually happening? And then the most human thing in the world happens. People try. Someone runs to their car. Someone else runs to a neighbor's house. People start walking toward higher ground without knowing exactly why. Just because moving feels better than standing still. Convenience stores fill up with people grabbing water and batteries by pure instinct. Someone is definitely trying to post about it. Parents dial their kids. Kids dial their parents. The calls don't connect. The network has been gone for 20 minutes. But people keep pressing the screen anyway. Standing in the street, phone against their ear, listening to silence, and refusing to take it as an answer. People are built to solve things, even unsolvable things, even obviously, visibly, undeniably unsolvable things. So they keep trying, keep planning, keep moving. That instinct is not weakness. It's one of the finest things about our species. It just doesn't change anything here. There is a specific moment, and it moves fast, where every option closes at once. Not one by one. All of them. Simultaneously. The roads out are gridlocked, then impassable. The buildings that seemed like shelter stop seeming like shelter. The supplies grabbed 10 minutes ago already feel insufficient. The group of strangers that clustered together out of instinct goes very quiet. And the noise, whatever kind of noise this particular ending produces, reaches a level where no one is talking anymore. Because talking requires believing someone can hear you and respond. And at some point in the last 60 seconds, that stopped feeling true. The last thing most people do in this moment is look for another person. Not a route, not a structure, not a direction. A facha. Something that reflects back the understanding that this is real, that it is happening, and that they are not alone in it. That instinct right there is the last fully human thing. And it lasts about 3 seconds. Because that's when the final option closes. Here's what almost every person who has come back from the edge of something catastrophic describes. Not what you'd expect. Not what the movies prepared you for. Not pain. Not terror. Not the dramatic flood of regret you've been told to anticipate. Quiet. Not external quiet. There may be enormous noise all around. Internal quiet. The kind your brain produces when it has exhausted every next step, and simply stops generating new ones. Your thoughts don't become large and cinematic. They become small and specific. A meal, a room, a sound you've always liked, a face. Not abstract things, tiny things. The things that were, it turns out, always the point. And for somewhere between 3 and 10 seconds, every documented account says something similar. Everything becomes unexpectedly, almost inexplicably clear. Not peaceful, not resolved, just clear. 7 billion people. 7 billion last moments. All of them small. All of them pointing at the same thing. The birds. The people. The ordinary Tuesday. You were always supposed to be paying attention to that. If you're watching this, you still can.